beneath an endless velvet sky. Two shadows gliding on the ground, outrunning every heavy sound. No destination in our sight, just tearing through the quiet night.
Welcome to episode 21 of the Ford Falcon restoration series. As you see, there's actually no Ford Falcon here because it is in the paint shop. The guy told me it'd be about 8 weeks, so this Ford Falcon restoration series is officially going to take a little pause while we work on my 1989 C4 Corvette. Got some fuel delivery issues, but before we start any new projects, I'm a little OCD. Garage is like super falconed out, so I gotta just organize some stuff, put away my tools, and start fresh. Then I'm going to struggle to get that Corvette into the garage. It'll be some random stuff, but let's get going. It's truly bonkers to me how, this is just it's a 13 millimeter wrench, right? And I will leave this out. Like I removed the windshield wiper motor from the Corvette already, and I left this out so I wouldn't have to get it again. I mean, like, if it's that much trouble just to put it back in the drawer to get it again, that's absurd. Absurd. This corner is my favorite. It's my happy place. Okay, let's put away the miscellaneous things here. Sanding stuff. Not gonna be sanding anymore, so we'll zip this guy up. Put this away. Not gonna be using this adhesive remover. Put my fire extinguisher away as well. Time to retire this mallet for a few days. Okay, these are a bunch of pieces from the dashboard area. Put these in here. This is from my brother-in-law's car. This ashtray is going to need to go to the paint shop, so I will leave this out. Well, this is stuck closed. I'm going to throw it out. I was like, why is everything greasy down here? My grease gun is leaking. How annoying. I'm going to wrap it up in a towel. And the reason it is leaking is because it is from Harbor Freight. All right, I'm going to try to sell these original cats for my Benz. And I took pictures that day, and I never posted them. Never did it. Just sitting there still in my camera roll. So I think that's all the Falcon parts in one area, besides like the big pieces like the bumpers, the glass, and the grill. And I've got a plan for the seats. I'm actually going to seam rip one of them, see if I can make a pattern out of it, and see if I can sew a new cover for it. It's pretty lofty, but I'm going to give it a try. Okay, can finally put my tools back. How exciting. I take so much pride in my tool collection. I can't even tell you. And also, it's like one of those subjects that I genuinely enjoy speaking about to strangers. Like, I can have small talk about our favorite tools any day of the week, and cars, of course, but tools are fun. Man, I didn't realize I was using every tool I had for this Falcon. No wonder I haven't been able to find anything for so long. These are my favorite drawers. Don't ask why. It's just how I do it. I keep those here. They're special. Here we go. I feel like what I should do is back it in because I can open the hood this way and have more light. But then again, I like working with my car half outside the garage, so it'll be easier to push it in the garage and then out the garage, just the way I had the Falcon. And that should be plenty of room for it. It's a smaller car for sure. So I got my foot on the throttle ever so gently, just kind of like keeping some throttle going on it. And it died all of a sudden. All right, we'll let this rest for a second. And also, let me show you this. So there's this plastic smell that comes from down here. And I don't know if you can see it. It's like a gray smoke, like a light gray smoke, but it's not an oil smell. It's, it's genuinely a plastic smell. I don't know what plastic smells like anymore. So something's melting down there, and that's when this whole thing started. That has officially died. My battery charger's dead too, so I can't move it right now. This sucks. So the whole plan was to get into the garage to hook up the fuel pressure gauge, whatever, checker thing, and check the actual fuel pressure from that Schrader valve. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it in the garage. It keeps dying, and the battery is also dying. So every time I go to start it up, it's draining my portable battery. I am not about to take the battery out right now and bring it in the garage. I will get it into the garage. It just wasn't in the cards today. I let it idle for too long. Anyways, your thoughts, ideas, suggestions, I would gladly take anything that you want to give me. I have replaced a bunch of stuff, and it hasn't solved anything. I did notice that this issue started along with that burning scent of plastic. It's coming from the distributor cap area, but it's not the distributor cap is not melted. So it's somewhere down there, and again, I have to like take off the top plenum and everything just to see what's going on, and I can't do that in the street, which is why I couldn't wait to roll old Bess into the garage here. But car gods had different plans for today. So I'm gonna charge up my battery charger, and I'll see if I can get the car into the garage tomorrow. And this is my fuel pressure checker that I got. Nothing special, but I have a brand new one because I couldn't find my old one, and I couldn't find my other old one, and I couldn't find my other old one. So this is ready to go. Garage is clean. Keep in mind, I've got other projects to do, but mentally I've been geared up for this C4 Corvette. I could take the upholstery off one of those seats. Should I? Should I do that? Just don't have the right seam ripper. I really wanted a good seam ripper. Nothing like a good seam ripper, huh? There's a nut on the other side. I think it's like a 1/2 inch. See, my heart was still into the Falcon. It's not a 1/2 inch. Must be a 5/8. You guys out there with girlfriends and wives who work on your car, God bless you. Really, your patience, who you are as a human being. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you guys have patience for a partner. I mean, for all those people, you girls out there with boyfriends, I don't know how you do it. If I was out here and someone was offering me help, and even if they knew which socket was which and they were providing a actual good solution, I think I'd end their life with a tool. I like someone even talking to me while I'm trying to do something besides my own dumb thoughts, not happening. Or if like I went to, hang out with my boyfriend, if I had a boyfriend and I went to go hang out with him after this, and he said, how was your day? How'd it go working on the car? I don't even know what I'd say. You guys are my friends. You're my only friends. I love each and every one of you, and you're all I need in this life and my cars. Okay, some shorties. So I don't want to take the track off because I'm going to have to put the track back on if I reuse these seats, which I plan on doing. All right, here we go. It is a 9/16, but I'm just trying the 5/8 just for shits and giggles. All right, 9/16 here. Here we go. Okay. Success. There we go. Nice. Let's get the other side. Oh, the sun has come out. Nice. All right. So this is loose. Let's take it away. Take it away now. Nothing about upholstery is fun. This is a different type of person, and I am not this person. Got these guys here. What do these do? So I wonder if this just like pries off? That doesn't make sense, does it? There's no zipper on it. Oh, it looks like there's like something that just sticks it in there. All right, so there's like a pin. Ah, there we go. All right. Okay. All right. I definitely would want to get a new piece of cardboard. So this is a nice template that we have here. We can remove all this stuff to have some really nice templates. That's great. All right, so we'll do that another day. And then we got this here, hog ties. So we would remove the hog ties, have ourselves another nice template. Interesting. Oh, so it's a piece of metal. Do you see that? Huh. There are these metal pieces. Interesting. Wow. So it's really stretched over this. Interesting. So do these bend up? Oh, they bend up very easily. I'll take the easy win. Okay, so we get under here, we lift, and then we can bend them all up. Okay, wow. They look like little bird beaks. You gotta lift the bird beaks up. Okay. Still bummed I couldn't get that Corvette in the garage, but at least we'll get this cushion off. I want to apologize for how many times I called these hog rings hog ties. Clearly they are not hog ties, they are hog rings. And I did look into a hog ring remover, and I will be getting that before finishing this hell of a job. Which I don't have any experience with really upholstery or anything like that. I wonder how hard it is to put these hog ties back on, or hog rings. They're not hog ties. Hog rings, hog ties. Hog ties are something else entirely. Probably a little bit more fun than what I'm doing right now. I should watch a video on the proper way to remove hog rings. Maybe you go to Hogwarts for that. Oh man, so it's under here too. I wonder if the person that did this is still alive. I wish I could contact him and ask him to do the next one for me. Some more hog rings over there. Oh my gosh, you guys, what in the world? I'm so not cut out for this. So there's this. What is this? More hog rings. Oh my goodness. All right. I see what needs to happen. These hog rings are all the way down here. Okay, we're gonna buy a hog ring remover before I hurt myself. I learned a lot today about myself. I'm a quitter. Just kidding. There's hog rings all down here and all down there. Again, like this is my first time removing upholstery, so I wasn't mentally or physically prepared for this. I'm going to order a hog ring remover and then we'll get back to this job. But hey, we've learned something a little bit new today. Man, I don't know what I'm thinking here. Jeez. Yeah, I don't. These are, I mean, all right. Once I get them off, I don't know, we'll see. All right, I'll look more into this upholstery thing later. Nope, right now I'm gonna sit here on the floor and look around and space out and count my blessings. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and have enjoyed this hodgepodge transitioning from the Falcon to a Corvette that never happened. I'll see you next time. Bye. Made it. Here it is. So I can hook up the battery charger to it, not have to mess with that. Don't ask me how I got it in here because it was, I woke up, my little boost pack, I don't know where it is, was completely charged. Hooked it up, started it up, and I didn't even bother warming it up. I just hit it, got it swung around, positioned. I got it back and forth a few times. When it came to slowly getting in the garage, because I didn't want to squish this stuff, my mom helped me guide it in, and it died over and over again because we're going slow, and then it would like lurch forward. So when it died, I just put it in neutral and we pushed it the rest of the way. Anyways, I got 8 weeks to fix whatever the heck's going on with this thing. I checked again the fuel, I can't even think of the name, the fuel pump. And it's humming. You turn the key and it's running for sure. I had to replace that like last year, I think, or 2 years ago. I don't know. I did it while I had the flu, so I wondered about it. And then not too long ago, maybe a month ago, I replaced that fuel oil switch. And so yeah, anyways, the plenum will come off. I'll test the fuel pressure next time I'm actually under here working. I might just, in the meantime, because everything is, all these like little sensors and stuff are old on the car. I'm assuming that they're OG. I have a whole service record for this car, but I didn't see fuel injectors replaced or anything like that though. So it's safe to assume that it could be original, even down to the alternator. So I don't know. I might just buy a bunch of stuff, replace it all while I've got it in here. The goal is to be able to drive this car to my work and back for fun. I mean, doesn't that sound like fun? A stressful drive in a 1989 C4 Corvette, all the way to Los Angeles and back. Yeah, great times. Yeah, I don't know how much fun that will be, but that's the goal, to get this thing back on the road in tip-top shape. And it all happened, that whole fuel delivery stuff happened with the fuel pump, and you could hear it would turn on sometimes, it would not turn on other times. So I knew that was a starting point, and I fixed that. It was running fantastic for maybe a month. Then I started smelling that burnt plastic smell coming from that plenum area towards the firewall, and that coincided with more fuel delivery issues. So again, like, I don't know, but there's a lot of weird sensors and stuff. It could be a vacuum leak for all I know. So any you guys out there with C4 Corvettes who have had issues with them, please let me know. I've got a whole slew of videos to watch from this guy. He's called My Corvette Life, and he does a lot of videos on this. So I definitely will learn a thing or two by watching his videos. All right, how exciting!